Jim Walters, 73. You and I have been kind of rummaging around now for a year, a little bit more than a year?
A little over a year.
Okay, what I really want to get across that people hear from you is the difference between a normal lifestyle and when you hit this idea that you could optimize your life. Starting with your weight gain, when did you bump into that tipping point that you needed to change?
The tipping point was actually a surgeon doing my knee surgery. Put a finger in my face and said, "You have to lose weight."
And that was the tipping point.
That was the tipping point.
And once you started to lose weight, you came in at 260 pounds?
Yes.
And that's been a little bit more than a year ago that we started on this?
We started on this a little over a year ago, and that particular time I was at 260 has been about a year and a half ago.
So you've lost 87 pounds. How many inches in the waist?
4 inches. Well, actually more. I was on a 40-inch waist, and now I'm down to 34 pound size.
Wow. And your energy level?
Skyrocket.
Now, kicker is you got a background in flying as an instructor. Flew in Alaska for a number of years. I mean, off the water, all of these things. And supervisor in a power plant. Jim, what has been the significant difference in your change, and what did you see in the program that you've accepted as a correct diet? Go ahead.
Well, you know, Stephen, when I met you, I was at that after the tipping point, and I really knew I needed to get down, okay? But I thought normal was kind of where I was at, and I found out learning from you and your programs, nutritional values and things that that's when I really knew I needed to get down, and that's when my norm changed.
And in this change of norm, when did you decide that, hey, wait, we've really accomplished some things here? Maybe optimum lifestyle is a new ceiling? Can I say that?
Yes.
As a flight guy?
Yes, yes. We pilots call that useful load on an airplane. And back then I thought it was normal the way I was, but then once, you know, learning how to cope with getting down was a little rough at first, but the program that you have and the spiritual aspect of it too is a very important thing.
The biblical approach to eating correctly. One that's been avoided by churches, education, government. They've pretty much said hands off, and here we decided to do it according to our Creator's design. And look at you.
Yes, and I think that was the turning point, Steve, because the first presentation I seen that you were giving had biblical scriptures, and that's when I thought, this guy's really on to something.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your energy level. Understanding ATP and how it's made and our design around the product that we slip in there. First of all, we want you to change your eating habits, correct?
Correct.
Get off the sugar, which, you know, there's kind of an addiction there. And then moving into a correct understanding of how energy is made and where we produced a product that met elements in the body that were not being made. Would that be fair?
That is fair.
And that was understandable to you. And so a couple of points that I really want you to talk about is your cognitive skills, your and your sleeping habits, and maybe we should even talk about some of these things that, you know, like testosterone, you know, some of those hormone activities. Jim?
Yes. Well, you know, after a couple months, I've noticed that my energy levels were just really increasing, and the fact that my cognitive, my balance, my weight going down, my stamina was going up, my sleeping was somewhat better. I don't put a lot of it on sleeping because I've always slept pretty well, but I believe there is an increase there also. And the fact that you know, I can remember things somewhat better. As we age, our mind's going somewhat, but I am doing a lot better cognitively, and my balance and all that has been wonderful.
So what is it that we have to offer as opposed to a diet of buying some of the things off the television? Where do you see Be Pure as being different, Nefesh?
Well, actually, I think the Be Pure and what's in it and what you've put in it really has cleansed me from the toxins, and I think that's where the weight loss started on my belly fat. And the fact that that's got a lot of energy sustaining items, and that's what I first really started noticing, was my energy level was the first thing I noticed, and I thought, wow, I'm really onto something here.
Talk about attitude just for a second. How's your attitude been?
Much better attitude. I think that has to do with feeling better about myself, and the norm that I thought was good for me has really gone out of the roof too, just like my energy.
Well, do you think you're a kinder person now?
Pretty much. I believe I'm more kinder. I think I understand things a little better. You know, I try to put it in the real spiritual, biblical aspect too of what this product has done for me, for my life, my lifestyle.
So you're seeing yourself as an example, a temple, if you will, and treating it as such. Fair?
Fair, yes.
Senior citizens, you know, and we're both senior. You're in your early 70s, and I'm in my early 80s. All at once we realize that if we'd have made these changes a long time ago, maybe we wouldn't have gone through some of the things that we did. And as we age, there's obviously the stability, the balance. These are concern to people. And kind of touch on that. What's in your life?
Well, you know, I just look back at my whole life and how I was on a roller coaster, and I knew I needed to do something, but I was just riding that roller coaster all the time with my weight, and it just seemed to really spark when, after a couple months of being on your product, I'm really going somewhere with this, and it changes your attitude, it changes your lifestyle, and I think just the attitude change is probably quite a bit of it.
Could we use the word Mitzrayim, because I think it's such a beautiful word, a new beginning? Would you say that that's kind of where that tipping point, and you said, hey, I don't have to live in this world of pain and self-esteem issues, and I could actually have more energy?
And that's probably all of it, most of it, yes.
So we didn't have not only just the product that met some needs, but a change of diet. Talking about that, has it cost you anything to do this?
Actually, it hasn't cost me any more than what I was spending on processed foods that were making me fat. And actually, it probably decreased my grocery bill somewhat.
Wow. Well, Jim, it's been a joy working with you. And we want to take this message to as many people to offer them hope. But that hope comes from an endurance. And if we could get people to understand that, you know, you don't have to work in a normal way, you could optimize it. And how easy has it been for you?
At first, a little bit tough, but the fact findings, the jumping on the scales was really got my thought process going from norm to a higher level of norm, much higher level.
Jim, we're going to have fun with this. Jim Walters, Steve Wilson with Nefesh. What a story, and I think a lot of people would be interested in hearing this and hearing it from Jim.